Welcome to Therapy by Choice podcast. My name is Robin Vance. I am your host for this podcast and an associate marriage and family therapist working with individuals, couples, and families. My therapeutic services are offered through Therapy by Choice, which is a private practice with offices located in San Jose and Palo Alto, California. On this podcast, we offer educational information on a variety of mental health topics. We speak to specialists in the field, and we answer your questions. We focus on helping you navigate life's challenges and offer easy-to-follow practical advice and opinions. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Therapy by Choice podcast. I'm your host, Robin Vance. Today, I'm going to be giving you an introduction and look into something that you probably already do or give, possibly on a regular basis, but you don't know exactly what to call it. Today, we're discussing co-regulation. Now, if you've ever felt the soothing presence of someone who just gets you, or notice how someone's calm demeanor can help you feel less anxious, you've already experienced a form of what we call co-regulation. Now, it's a concept that's been gaining attention for its role in mental health and healing. And today, I'm going to explore what co-regulation is, the different types of it, the relationships it's helpful in, and how you can tap into its power. We'll also discuss specific situations where co-regulation is especially useful. And of course, as always, here on Therapy by Choice podcast, I'll be breaking down everything with relatable examples to make it super easy to understand and apply in your own life. So let's get started. What is co-regulation? At its core, co-regulation is a process where one person helps regulate another person's emotions, physiological states, or behaviors through their presence, tone, and actions. It's a form of mutual support where the person helping doesn't just offer advice or fix things, but instead creates a safe, stable, and calming environment. Think of co-regulation as kind of an emotional tuning fork, where one person is upset or dysregulated, the other person's calm presence can tune them back into a more balanced state. This can happen without a single word being said, and it's based on the principle that humans are wired to be affected by others' emotional states, especially those they're close to. Let's talk about some types of co-regulation. Now, I talk about this especially in couples therapy. Co-regulation isn't just one thing, and much like love languages, it is really important to have that discussion with your partner, with your loved ones, with your friends about what co-regulation looks like. It's a multi-layered process, and there are a few different types that we can tap into depending on the relationship and the needs in the moment. First up, physical co-regulation. This is probably the one that you're most familiar with. This is the classic being there for someone and using physical presence to help someone regulate. You might be sitting next to a friend who's stressed, and just being in that same space, maybe even offering a gentle touch on the arm, helps them feel more grounded. Let's take a look at an example. Let's say you're sitting with a close friend who's going through a tough time. They're crying, and you don't necessarily need to say anything. Just holding their hand or sitting beside them in silence makes them feel safe and understood. Over time, this act of physical connection teaches their body that it's safe to release emotion and be vulnerable. Next up, emotional co-regulation. This type involves connecting on an emotional level. It's when one person mirrors the emotions of another to help them feel seen and heard without judgment. And this type of connection builds empathy and trust. Let's take a look at another example. Your partner comes home after a stressful day at work, clearly agitated. Instead of brushing it off or trying to fix their feelings, you empathize by saying, "It sounds like you've had a really rough day. I can see you're feeling really overwhelmed. You let them vent, offering validation, and their emotional state starts to soften because they feel understood. Next up, cognitive coregulation. This type is about helping someone reframe or gain perspective. It often involves talking through difficult emotions and gently guiding the person to a place of clarity. Now, this is great for problem solving or when someone feels stuck. Let's look at an example of this. Let's say you have a friend who's spiraling in their thoughts, feeling like they can just never get ahead in life. Instead of telling them, you'll be okay, you ask open-ended questions like, what's one small thing you can do today that helps make things feel a little more manageable? This type of intervention helps them break the problem down and shift their perspective, restoring some calm. Behavioral co-regulation. Sometimes emotional co-regulation comes through the modeling of behaviors. When we see someone else handle something with patience or calmness, it can help us imitate that and regulate ourselves. Let's take a look at an example. Let's say you're in a high-stress situation with your sibling. While they're visibly anxious, you calmly focus on your breathing, slow your speech, and remain steady. Without needing to say much, your sibling starts to mirror your behaviors and you both start to calm down together. So now that we looked at some of the types of co-regulation, when can co-regulation be useful? Co-regulation is especially helpful in certain situations where emotions can become overwhelming, when we feel disconnected, or when we need help finding balance. Here are a few examples. Number one, during stressful or crisis situations. Whether it's a work deadline, a difficult conversation, or an unexpected crisis, co-regulation can offer a calming force that helps someone maintain composure. Now, this is one of the areas I actually find the most helpful. During crisis situations, I tend to remain very calm, but there are a few key situations that kind of throw that calm out the window. And I spoke about one of those situations not too long ago in one of the episodes. And it involves anything related to my vehicle or anything that needs to be repaired. In those situations, I know that I can call my dad. He's going to be that calming force. He's going to help me through that crisis. And the fact of just talking to him does help me calm down and maintain my composure. Let's take a look at another example of during stressful or crisis situations when co-regulation can be useful. Let's say a colleague is feeling overwhelmed by a major project deadline. Instead of just telling them to relax, you calmly suggest a break. Sit with them to strategize and encourage them to take one task at a time. Your steady presence allows them to regain focus and reduce anxiety. Co-regulation can also be helpful in moments of grief. When someone is mourning a loss, they might struggle to regulate their emotions, and that's definitely understandable. In these moments, co-regulation can provide the emotional comfort and validation that allows them to experience their grief without feeling overwhelmed by it. An example, let's say a friend just lost a loved one and they're in deep mourning. Instead of offering quick fixes or platitudes, you simply can sit with them, allowing them to cry and talk when they're ready. Your calm and non-judgmental presence helps them feel safe to express the full range of their emotions. Next up, this one, my parents probably already know about it, but let's talk about it. Co-regulation for children and parents. Children, especially young ones, often lack the skills needed to regulate their own emotions. And parents or caregivers can provide co-regulation by staying calm and offering emotional guidance, which helps children learn how to self-regulate over time. An example of this, let's say your child is having a meltdown over a minor issue. Instead of getting frustrated, you take a deep breath, speak in a calming tone, and help them calm down by acknowledging their feelings. I know you're upset, and it's okay to feel that way. Let's take a few deep breaths together. Your steady presence helps them calm down and regain control. Another area where co-regulation is useful, and this is probably the area I use it the most, in therapy. In a therapeutic setting, the therapist provides co-regulation by creating a safe, grounding space for the client or clients to explore difficult emotions. The therapist's calm and empathetic presence can help the client feel more supported and able to regulate their feelings. Let's take a look at an example. A client is struggling with anxiety and is feeling overwhelmed in the session. The therapist uses their calm tone, grounded body language, and empathetic responses to help the client slow down and process their feelings in real time. Sometimes in session, when I do notice that someone is feeling anxious, I notice that I will take a few deep, calming breaths. And when I slow my breathing down and slow my pacing down, even the rate by which I talk, sometimes that can greatly affect the client's response. Next up, in relationships with high emotional intensity. Now, this is what I talked about earlier. Co-regulation is a crucial thing in romantic relationships. Also in family dynamics and close friendships where emotions can easily escalate. Co-regulation can help de-escalate tension and foster understanding in moments of conflict. Let's take a look at an example. During a disagreement with your partner, instead of raising your voice, you take a moment to pause, breathe, and speak in a calm, measured tone. Your partner follows your lead, and the argument shifts from a heated exchange to a more constructive conversation. Now let's talk about the power and healing of co-regulation. Why is this so important for healing? Well, research shows that co-regulation promotes emotional resilience, helps balance the nervous system, and supports secure attachment. The foundation of many healing processes, whether from trauma, anxiety, or depression, can be built on the foundation of co-regulation. And it acts as a restorative force for those whose nervous systems are dysregulated, allowing for a safe space to reconnect with a sense of calm and control. For example, in trauma recovery, a person who has experienced emotional neglect may not have developed the internal resources for self-regulation. And in those cases, co-regulation, either through a therapist, partner, or friend, can retrain the nervous system, offering a model for how to handle difficult emotions and situations. So, what are some tips for using co-regulation in your own life? Number 1, create a calming presence. If you're trying to support someone, start with your own calm. Slow your breathing, speak with a soft tone, and keep your body language open and non-threatening. Remember, your body can help anchor them. Number 2, practice empathy. When someone's upset, try to connect to them emotionally by mirroring their feelings or validating them. A simple, "that sounds really hard and I can see why you're upset," can make a big difference. Number 3, model healthy behaviors. Whether it's taking a deep breath, walking away to calm down, sometimes it's a glass of cold water, or acknowledging your own emotions, model the behaviors that help you stay regulated, and often others will follow your lead. And number 4, mind your boundaries. Now remember, while co-regulation is powerful, it's also essential to recognize your own limits. If you're feeling overwhelmed yourself, it's okay to say, I'm here for you, but I need a moment to collect myself. Co-regulation works best when both people feel emotionally safe and steady. Now, co-regulation isn't just about fixing or managing emotions. It's about healing together. When we're able to co-regulate with others, we create bonds that are built on mutual care and trust. And this is the foundation of secure attachment, whether in romantic relationships, friendships, family members, or even between therapist and client. It's a beautiful reminder that we don't have to navigate our emotional lives alone. And together, we can help each other find balance, peace, and healing. I want to thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope that you find this episode helpful and insightful. And if you're interested in learning more about how you can use co-regulation in your own life, feel free to reach out and follow me on all social media platforms at Therapy by Choice Podcast. Until next time, be well and remember that healing is a shared journey. I'm Robin Vance. Take good care. While we hope to provide insight and education, our podcast does not replace therapy, and listening to our podcast does not establish a therapeutic relationship. If you or someone you know are in crisis, please call the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline by dialing 988.